And talking about the Venezuela situation, I mean, a aircraft carrier there that's a pretty big show of force. Does it worry you what's going on down there right now?
Well, it does, but perhaps not for the reasons that the administration would say. You know, we've been listening to this drug war rhetoric now for a very long time. It's becoming increasingly difficult for many of us to take it seriously. When you have an organization like the CIA that is well known for its involvement in drug trafficking, when you talk about the border, yes, the appearances are better, the optics are better, but illegal human and drug trafficking continues. In fact, a lot of it goes right through the legal ports of entry because the drug cartels are paying the customs officers to turn a blind eye to their material. So they're informed in advance that a truck's coming through, going to someplace, let it through, don't obstruct, and they get an extra $30,000 every month on top of their existing pay. We have a great deal of difficulty dealing with that. That's why I had recommended a long time ago to the president, we need to put the military on the border and put it under military control and then rotate battalions on and off until the place is secure. Because you can't compete with the flood of money that cultivates corruption. That's a huge problem. It's a huge problem inside the United States. So right now, the drug cartels can continue to do a lot of damage to us, regardless of what we do to Venezuela, I'll be frank. All they need at the moment is a van with a map of the interstate highway to deliver their human or drug packages wherever they're sending them for money. That's the problem. I don't think this is going to solve that. But what it will do, and this is something I'm very concerned about, is it will once again remind the Latin American republics and peoples down there of just how threatening we are, because we have a long track record of intervention down there, whether it's El Salvador or Nicaragua, you name it. We've been in and out of these places.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals, and that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week, and for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
And I'm already hearing people say, well, this will be like Panama, just like Noriega. Well, Noriega was removed. I don't think that ended drug trafficking permanently. I don't see any evidence for that. Has it suppressed it? I'm sure somewhat, but there are always other ways to engage in this criminality. So the idea should be you stop it at the border and you stop it in your coastal waters. If you can't do that, then you have to enforce law inside the United States. And you're not going to get very far unless you are harsh. And the man who demonstrated just how effective this is was Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. If you come into Singapore and you are peddling drugs, you will face the death penalty. Sure, you'll go to trial. You'll have a jury trial. But that's what you're facing if you do this. And you know, Mao used to say all the time to his party members, shoot one, educate a million. You never have to execute very many people to get the point across. It comes across pretty quick. But inside the United States, you have people say, well, that's not humane. Well, how humane is it for hundreds of thousands of Americans to die of fentanyl? Somehow or another, you don't want to find the individuals who are responsible for distributing it and punishing them, even if it involves capital punishment. If you're trying to save them, that's what you have to do. Bombing Venezuela, attacking Colombia, if we marched into Mexico, that would not help our case. The last thing that we want to do south of the border is invade someone else's country or start killing people. That's just not a good idea. And let's look at Venezuela for a minute. If you look at the map and you superimpose Venezuela on the European landmass, It covers the area of Germany, France, Belgium, Switzerland, and part of Austria. It has a 1,700-mile coastline, 1,379 miles it shares with Brazil, 1,380 miles it shares with Colombia. And we already know there are paramilitary organizations in Colombia, as many as 100,000, and also in Brazil, who are just anxious as hell to go into Venezuela and fight the Yankees. What are we accomplishing? And remember that just a few weeks ago, in fact, just last week, President Trump admitted in the Oval Office in an interview that Maduro had approached him and offered him a stake in the oil and gas industries. In fact, President Trump said he's offered everything. And the question was, well, is that not enough? No, that's not enough. What? How often has regime change worked? How often has it benefited us? I think the answer is not much. It's very expensive. If we go into Venezuela, we remove the government, try to install a new one, there are people who will support it, but there are a lot of people who will fight it. So what are we cultivating? A civil war? And then do we make Venezuela dependent upon us? What a disaster. How many trillions have we lost in the Middle East? What did it cost us in Vietnam? We went off the gold standard in 1970, 71, 72. Why? Because we were broke. So, this doesn't make any sense, but it's more of this sort of drama queen behavior. And you get these same worn out arguments from people in Washington who aren't even qualified to run a Burger King. And at the same time, what are they doing? They're advising on national brain surgery. This is ridiculous. We don't have a group of professionals, people that really understand anything, rooted in foreign policy, rooted in all the various areas of policy that are important to the American people. In the meantime, 70% of American families live paycheck to paycheck. How can this go on? This can't.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.